Emergency?
Hello, I'm a short break foster carer for a child. He's not been able to be dropped off at his own house because his grandparents are not answering the door. I've just been round the back and I've seen his grandfather, and he appears to have a gun in his hand.
When this disturbing 999 call came in on a quiet Friday afternoon, no one could have predicted what investigators were about to uncover. Inside the house were two bodies and a sawn-off shotgun, but there were no signs of forced entry. At first, it looked like a tragic murder, but as the investigation unfolded, it became clear this was no ordinary case. The disturbing chain of events began just after 4:30 p.m. on Friday, July 6, 2012, when a respite minibus pulled up outside a modest semi-home on Clow Avenue in Sale, Greater Manchester. In the front seat, 17-year-old Daniel Seddon watched the driveway with bright anticipation. Most days, his grandfather Robert waited at the end of the path, while his grandmother Patricia watched from the front window. But that day, no one was there. His carer, Fergus, sensed something was wrong. He told Daniel to wait in the minibus and walk to the door. It was shut and, unusually, locked. The family car was still parked in the drive. Robert and Patricia never left the house when Daniel was due home. Fergus rang the bell, but no one came to open the door. He tapped on the living room window, but no one responded. Growing concerned, he walked around to the back of the house and looked through the patio doors. What he saw stopped him cold. Inside, Robert Seddon was slumped on the couch, a sawn-off shotgun resting across his lap. Alarmed, Fergus stepped back and immediately called 999. Within minutes, investigators arrived at the scene and forced their way into the house. Patricia was lying face down in the hallway, with a gunshot wound to the back of the head. Robert was sitting in the rear lounge with a gunshot wound to the neck. As the scene was cordoned off, police examined the house for clues. There was no sign of forced entry, and it did not appear as though a robbery had taken place. The doors and windows were intact and showed no signs of being tampered with. Inside, the house was undisturbed. Valuables, furniture, and personal belongings were all untouched.
The first impressions at the scene was that a murder had taken place, that being that Bob had shot his wife, Pat, and then shot himself.
But what the investigators didn't realize was that they were walking straight into a trap, because that's exactly what the killer wanted them to believe. As police made inquiries in the local area, neighbors described Robert and Patricia as a quiet, routine-driven couple. It was those very routines that first signaled something was wrong. Pat washed clothes every day, always in the same order. Whites were hung out first. Then, once they were dry, she replaced them with darks. On July 4th, neighbors saw her hang the whitewash in the morning. The dark load never followed. Robert was equally predictable. He never missed putting the bin out on Wednesday nights for Thursday collection. But on the night of July 4th, the bin stayed inside. From these small but telling details, investigators believed the couple had been dead for 2 days before their bodies were found. To narrow the timeline, detectives began reconstructing their movements in the hours before they died.
Extensive CCTV inquiries were then commenced, and one of these led to the recovery of footage on a local chippy where Bob could be seen at 5 minutes past 12 on Wednesday the 4th of July, buying what we believe was probably his last meal, the fish and chips.
Analysis of the Seddons' home phone records from July 4th confirmed that 2 calls were answered, one from their son Stephen and another from social services shortly after 12:30 p.m., but the 4:21 p.m. call went unanswered. From this, detectives concluded that Robert and Patricia Seddon most likely died between 12:30 and 4:21 p.m. on July 4th. As inquiries continued, police built a clear picture of how Robert and Patricia had died. Ballistic experts established that both victims had been shot at close range with a sawn-off shotgun. They concluded it was impossible for Robert to have self-inflicted his neck wound. The shot had been fired from about 1.5 meters away, beyond the reach of his arms. The weapon's neat placement across his body was also inconsistent with
The way that he was sitting there holding the gun didn't make sense. Shotguns produce a lot of recoil when they are discharged. And if you invert a shotgun and point the muzzle to yourself, you haven't got any support for the recoil of the shotgun. It would fly across the room. So I was not expecting to see a sawn-off shotgun in the hands of a person who had shot himself. So that was a massive red flag for me.
Forensic analysis of the crime scene revealed another crucial detail.
We know that 2 shots had been discharged at the scene, but there was only one fired cartridge case. Where was the other cartridge case? The whole house was searched, upstairs, downstairs, even the workshop, and the other fire cartridge case was never found.
Whoever had carried out the killings had taken the cartridge with them when they left. These findings ruled out the possibility of a murder-suicide. Robert had not killed Patricia and then himself. Both had been deliberately executed. It was a double murder. With Robert ruled out as a suspect, police turned their attention to the family. Who would want Robert and Patricia dead, and why? Robert and Patricia Seddon had built a quiet, stable life in Sale, Greater Manchester. Married in 1966, they spent decades working hard and raising their family. Bob worked in ground maintenance for British Airways, while Pat kept the home and occasionally took cleaning jobs. They were modest, dependable, and deeply committed to one another. Neighbors described them as kind, mild-mannered, and modest. Bob and Pat's first child, Stephen, was born on August 31st, 1966. A year later, in 1967, they welcomed their daughter, Leslie. In 1975, when Leslie was 7, she began suffering convulsions and was diagnosed with epilepsy.
That skewed the balance of the family quite radically. Suddenly, all the attention, both from Bob, the father, and Pat, the mother, was focused on Leslie.
She required a lot of care and support from her mum and dad. I think that Seddon really didn't like that because he felt that that detracted from him.
As Leslie's care needs grew, so did Stephen's resentment. He began to feel sidelined by his parents and started acting out. At home, he became difficult. Outside, he sought attention through rebellion. By the time he was a teenager, he'd become a known troublemaker.
Stephen felt that he wanted to get his father Bob's attention, and one way of getting it was to have the police turn up at the door or to get called to the police station. So we have the first of a string of brushes with the law as a juvenile. Every kind of bad boy behavior. He was up to anything.
The petty crimes escalated. And in 1989, Stephen was sentenced at Bolton Crown Court for obtaining goods by deception and theft. After his release, he made the decision to turn his life around and start a career in sales. Stephen had a natural gift for persuasion. Confident and well-dressed, he projected success and was skilled at making people believe in him. With a partner, he launched a company that promised small businesses access to European funding in exchange for a one-off fee of £300. In reality, no applications were ever made. Stephen and his partner simply pocketed the money. His sales skills were so impressive that more and more businesses fell for his scam. Within 2 years, the company was worth £5 million.
This enabled Seddon to enjoy this high-flying lifestyle. He drove a Bentley. He stayed at very expensive hotels. So that gave him a taste for the high life. And this is an individual who's always had a sense of entitlement, always felt like he deserves particular things in life.
For his parents, it seemed like a proud turnaround. Robert and Patricia believed their son had finally made something of himself. In 1996, he got married and moved to Durham with his wife, Nicola. For a while, it looked like things had settled. But the illusion didn't last. In 2000, a trading standards investigation exposed his company as a fraud. Stephen was convicted of deception and sentenced to a year in prison. Amid this turmoil, another tragedy struck his family. In 2008, Stephen's sister Leslie died in her sleep from a seizure at the age of 40. Her 12-year-old son, Daniel, who had severe learning difficulties, came under Bob and Pat's care. Despite their age and declining health, they took him in without hesitation and became his guardians. With the mental age of around 3, Daniel required full-time attention. To help them cope, a respite carer named Fergus would look after Daniel for a few days every week. The arrangement gave Bob and Pat some relief, but their days still revolved around Daniel's routine. Leslie's death also prompted a change in the will. With Stephen now their only surviving child, Robert and Patricia named him their sole heir in October of 2009. If both of them died, Stephen would inherit their estate, worth about £231,000 after debts, and assume guardianship of Daniel. For police, this inheritance was critical and gave Stephen a clear financial motive. Friends and relatives described him as money-hungry, entitled, and constantly leaning on his parents for support. And in the years leading up to the murders, Robert and Patricia had already bailed him out more than once, releasing equity from their home to give him over £45,000, £22,500 towards a house deposit, and another £23,000 in cash. By 2012, Stephen was unemployed, heavily in debt, and down to just £5 in his bank account. For investigators, the picture was becoming clear. An inheritance from his parents would have solved his financial problems instantly. That background was fresh in detectives' minds when they visited him in Durham to break the news. As next of kin, he needed to be informed. On hearing what had happened, Stephen collapsed to the floor, moaning and sobbing. But when officers helped him up, his first words were not about his parents or nephew. Instead, he blurted out, "What am I going to do now? I'm going to lose the house. The mortgage is in my dad's name." The officers found the reaction as highly unusual. Stephen did not ask what happened, nor did he inquire about Daniel. For a man who had just been told both his parents had been killed, his concern for property and finances stood out starkly. Since Robert's GP was one of the last peoples to see him alive, investigators contacted the doctor to better understand his state of mind. The doctor confirmed Robert was being treated for depression, a condition triggered by the car accident 3 months earlier. But during his appointment on July 3rd, Robert also had voiced something far more troubling.
He went to see his local GP and he told his doctor that he'd become convinced that his son Stephen had attempted to kill them, had attempted to murder them all.
Robert had noticed numerous inconsistencies. Stephen had chosen an unusual isolated route and crashed at the only stretch without a barrier. He had escaped the sinking BMW with suspicious ease, while the rest of the family fought for their lives. But the most incriminating detail came when Robert discovered what was saved on Stephen's home television system.
He found at Seddon's house a saved video of how to escape a submerged vehicle, which was rather suspicious. So I think there was that realization that actually my son might be trying to kill me.
Armed with this new information, officers had to determine whether Robert's fears were the paranoid thoughts of a depressed man or a sign of something far more sinister. To find out, they re-examined the canal crash that had taken place just 3 months earlier. On March 20th, 2012, Stephen invited Robert, Patricia, and Daniel out for a belated Mother's Day meal at the Altrincham Golf Course restaurant, telling them it was his way of saying thank you for all they had done for him. Stephen had planned the outing with precision. He hired a BMW for the occasion and carried items he had no legitimate reason to bring: a crook lock and a sharp knife. The crook lock wasn't needed for that model of car, but it could be used to smash a window, ensuring his own escape. The knife was a backup to cut his seatbelt if required. Both tools were meant only for his survival. Instead of taking the shorter, direct route via Brooklands to the Altrincham Golf Course restaurant, he deliberately steered them onto the longer, more isolated canal road in Timperley. This choice was no accident. The road ran directly alongside the Bridgewater Canal, and crucially, it contained one exposed section with no crash barrier, the perfect place to stage a tragedy. When he reached the spot, Stephen suddenly complained of chest pains and began weaving the BMW erratically. Then, in a calculated move, he swerved the vehicle off the road and into the freezing canal waters.
Hello. Hi, I'm driving up Canal Road in Timperley in Manchester and a car has just driven into the canal.
Okay, is anybody inside, can you tell?
Well, no one's out. They literally drove towards me and they sort of didn't stop and then they veered off and gone into the canal.
Panic erupted inside the car as Robert, Patricia, and Daniel struggled with their seatbelts. But Stephen was prepared. Instead of fighting, he calmly cut himself free and smashed the driver's window with the crook lock. Within seconds, he was outside, leaving the others trapped as the BMW began to sink. Witnesses told investigators that instead of helping, Stephen climbed onto the roof of the sinking car, his weight forcing it under more quickly. It was only when people on the towpath shouted at him to get down and help the others that he began smashing at the windows with his feet. First, he unbuckled Daniel and pushed him through the shattered window. With the help of the boys on the towpath, Daniel was pulled to safety. Stephen then returned for his father and safely brought him back to the bank too. Patricia, however, was still trapped in the back seat. The rising water pressure made it nearly impossible to force the door open, and she soon lost consciousness. Fortunately, onlookers on the towpath had already called for help, and emergency services quickly arrived. Firefighters smashed the rear window and pulled Patricia out just moments before the BMW slipped beneath the surface. On the bank, paramedics worked frantically for several minutes to get her breathing again before her heart restarted. Against all odds, she too survived. In the aftermath, Stephen embraced the spotlight. He posed for photographs with his parents and gave emotional interviews, claiming he had blacked out from sudden chest pains before the car swerved into the canal. But doctors later found no medical evidence of a cardiac event.
I went to the scene of the canal crash, and it was apparent that it was the only part of the road, the only stretch of the road where there wasn't a crash barrier at the side of the canal. But at the time, no one thought it was suspicious.
Further investigation into the canal crash showed that in the months leading up to it, Stephen had hired several cars, but never once added accidental damage insurance. The only exception was the BMW he drove into the Bridgewater Canal. It was the one vehicle he had specifically insured.
When you added together Bob's comments to his doctor about the suspicions in relation to the crash, Stephen's varying explanations about why the crash had happened, his heart condition that couldn't be detected, his added insurance on the car that was ultimately going to wind up in the canal, this all strongly pointed to the fact that Stephen had, in March that year, tried to kill his family by driving them into the canal.
With the evidence mounting, detectives decided it was time to bring Stephen in for questioning.
During Stephen's interviews, he gave us an awful lot of no-comment answers to an awful lot of questions. But one thing he was happy to talk about was his movements the week his mum and father had been murdered.
He told investigators that on July 2nd, he took his family to a caravan park in Fleetwood, a seaside town roughly 140 miles from their home in Seaham, on the night of July 3rd. He remembered he needed to sign on for a job seeker's allowance at the job center, so he left Fleetwood early the next morning to travel back. He was exhausted when he got home, so after a couple of cappuccinos, he decided to take a nap before his 10 a.m. appointment, but overslept. When he awoke, the power was out and the electric garage door trapped his car inside. He had no choice but to run to the job center, arriving late. Afterwards, he withdrew cash from a nearby ATM, went home for the afternoon, phoned his parents, and slept again. Later, when the power returned, he retrieved his car, went to a local shop for beer, and at around 6:30 p.m., visited a retail park with a family member. Then, in the evening, he drove back to Fleetwood, stopping for fuel and more beer along the way.
Seddon made a point of being visible on local CCTV in Seaham, so that gave him an alibi to say that he was in the northeast, obviously hundreds of miles away from Sale.
But that didn't stop investigators from scrutinizing his alibi. Every part of his story had to be verified. His timeline, his movements, even his excuses. If he was telling the truth, the evidence would support him. If not, the cracks would begin to show. Detectives reviewed CCTV footage and were able to verify some of his claims. Stephen was seen leaving the caravan park in Fleetwood at 5:24 a.m. on July 4th in his Volkswagen Passat. At 9:57 a.m., he signed in at the job center in Seaham. The staff there confirmed he had appeared out of breath when he arrived. By 10:36 a.m., cameras recorded him withdrawing cash from an ATM outside the Asda supermarket in Byron Place Shopping Center. The next confirmed sighting came at 4:36 p.m., when he was filmed buying beer at Home Bargains in the same shopping center. However, there were significant gaps in Stephen's movements that afternoon that could not be accounted for.
This meant that Stephen had an alibi from first thing in the morning, from going to the job centre and to the cash point to buy the Chinese beer in the afternoon and going to Fleetwood. What he didn't have was an alibi between the two times, which was around 11 and 4:30.
Since Robert and Patricia Seddon had been killed within this very window, Detectives needed solid evidence placing Stephen in sale at the time. Without it, he would walk free. After sifting through hours of CCTV, officers finally caught a breakthrough. On one camera outside the CM Job Center, a car pulled up and a figure stepped out. Moments later, on another camera, Stephen Seddon was recorded entering the building. What caught investigators' attention was what happened when he left. Stephen was seen walking toward the same car, and shortly afterwards, the vehicle drove away. If Stephen had been using that car that day, detectives needed to know which one it was. The job center footage was too poor to identify it, but luck was on their side. A bus passed by while Stephen was inside, and its onboard CCTV captured a much clearer image.
They're able to capture the footage that the bus had taken, and that's when they identify the car. It's a 3 Series blue BMW, and they make some further investigations and find out that a relative of Seddon's actually owns a 3 Series BMW. So now they have the number plate, they can start looking at the ANPR, the automatic number plate recognition data.
Detectives began scanning CCTV footage and ANPR systems across County Durham and Greater Manchester to track the movements of the blue BMW and place it near the Seddon's home.
If we couldn't place Stephen Seddon or the vehicle that Stephen Seddon had access to in the sale area at that time, our own inquiries would ultimately alibi him out as a suspect.
At 1:33 p.m., a blue BMW is spotted on Manor Road, close to Bob and Pat's home. At 1:59, the same vehicle was seen going away from the home. 4 minutes later, at 2:03, it was caught on camera passing Nisa Supermarket.
Then I got the phone call to say that the automated number plate recognition system had picked up a BMW that had gone from the northeast to the Greater Manchester area, and this was within our time frame of the killings.
Detectives also discovered that the car was registered to Stephen's brother-in-law. On the morning of July 4th, Stephen had stopped at his house and asked to borrow it to get to the job center. This was a pivotal moment. In interviews, Stephen had insisted he had no access to a car. Now, the police know he did, and the drive from CM to Sale would take about 2.5 hours, well within the time frame of the murders. Attention then turned to Stephen's phone records. On the morning of July 4th, he'd called his parents' house. Investigators suspected the purpose was to confirm that they were home and learn about their plans for the day.
When we were investigating the phones, one of the things that really concerned me was the fact that his phone was in CM, and we'd been able to establish that that phone had possibly been answered. This was an area that, when it went to court, he could use as a defence to say that my phone was in CM, it was answered, and I answered it.
Most of the calls and messages he received that day went unanswered, but one loan company call had been picked up. Because such calls were recorded, detectives recovered the audio and carried out a voice analysis.
Can I speak to Nick, please?
You'll have to phone back later.
Is he not available?
No.
All right, we'll give him a call later on then.
The voice that answered wasn't his. A comparison with another call Stephen had made days earlier confirmed the difference.
I'll speak to Nick.
Speaking.
Hi Nick, just a quick call. See if you're interested in going ahead with the loan application today.
Is this stuff that charges you money though before you get the loan?
We do charge a fee and guarantee you a loan.
Yeah, I've heard all that before. It's a scam from Town Bank.
Someone else had answered his phone while he was away, likely to create the illusion that he was still in CM. During later inquiries, the BMW Stephen was driving was picked up on CCTV heading toward a family member's home, where he reportedly left his mobile phone. Detectives believe that after the murders, Stephen went to a retail park in CM to meet the same relative and retrieve his phone. However, one major question remained. How had a sawn-off double-barreled shotgun ended up in Bob and Pat's home? Once again, Stephen's phone records offered a clue.
On the day of the murders, Stephen Seddon had made 2 telephone calls to a criminal associate in the northeast, a man who had previous convictions for firearms offences, and the gun that was used had actually been stolen in a burglary not far from Seddon's house in the northeast.
Detectives believe that Stephen collected the gun from his associate as he drove from CM to Sale. Detectives also learned that Stephen had recently met the landlady of the Mitchell Arms, a pub in County Durham, and told her he was interested in buying it.
The irony of this braggart, Stephen Seddon, pretending that he's got enough money to buy a pub in the northeast is remarkable, because when it was finally discovered how much he actually had in his bank account, it was £5.45. He was absolutely broke.
All the pieces of the puzzle were now in place. The CCTV footage, the shotgun, the ANPR hits, the phone data. Together, they told a clear story. Stephen had planned, staged, and executed the murders of his parents in pursuit of money. On July 12, 2012, Stephen Seddon was formally charged with the attempted murder of his parents in the canal crash and the murders of Bob and Patricia Seddon in their home. He pleaded not guilty, claiming that his presence near Sale on the day of the killings was because he was on a drug run close to his parents' house.
For both Robert and Pat, the final moments would have been one of just unimaginable horror that the beloved son had turned into such a cold-blooded killer and a monster.
This is really, really appalling. You know, the people who give you life, the people who support you and give you their last penny, that you are prepared to so ruthlessly execute them for your own greed really is despicable.
The trial began at Manchester Crown Court on February 20th, 2013. After a 35-day hearing and 18 hours of jury deliberation, Stephen Seddon was found guilty on all counts. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 40 years.
This is akin to a whole life sentence for someone of Seddon's age. He's very unlikely to ever get released from prison, and I think this is a sentence which is wholly deserved.
During sentencing, Mr. Justice Hamblin called Stephen Seddon's actions truly evil, driven not by anger or provocation, but by greed alone. A prisoner escaped, and suddenly, no one was safe in the San Luis Obispo County prison area in California. And on the same morning, a lot of welfare check calls were made for someone.
Grover Beach Police.
Yes, this is Officer Cook calling from California Men's Colony.
Hi, how can I help you?
Just calling to let you know that there's going to be 2 officers conducting a welfare check at South 9th Street.
Okay, is there anything that we need to be aware of?
No, not at this time. Just calling to let you know, just in case something does go awry, that there are two peace officers at that location, going to be in an unmarked car.
All righty, Officer Cook, thank you.
Thank you much.
Bye.
This welfare check was made on October 25, 2018. Athena Valentiny, who was a nurse in the very same prison. Athena was nowhere to be found, and the police would now have to break their way into her home. But the worst had happened.
Grover Beach Police.
Hi, yes, this is Officer Cook.
Hi there.
Hi. I called a little bit ago, informed somebody that we're going to be doing a welfare check on one of our employees. Want to see if you can send a unit down here. Based on the information that we have, there may be an issue at the residence. We have to have a unit come here. Her vehicle's here. She only has one vehicle. The vehicle's here. And from a neighbor's description of her daily routine, it's not normal. And she is not answering the door. So I just want to see if we can get a unit here for further contact or possible entry.
Okay, I'll send somebody over there.
All right, thank you much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
While everyone expected an innocent nurse to have fallen prey to an inmate, the story took a much darker turn. Testimonies from 2 neighbors changed the whole story and led to a culprit much closer to home. Athena's son, Levente Lazar, who was nowhere to be found and supposedly in another state, had been seen by the neighbors.
Hello, Sergeant Ravina, Grove Beach PD. I'm trying to get a little more information on your neighbor here at the first department. When's the last time you've seen her and talked to her?
It was probably 2 days ago, and I think I heard her either last night or the night before.
You heard her?
Yeah, she was talking to someone in Hungary, and I think it was her son.
Oh, on a phone or something like that?
No, in person.
Okay.
From here, the evidence will start telling the story.
But was she dead on the day I arrived?
She was dead when you killed her. You did.
Because you're telling me this, you're telling me you have so much evidence of this and that, but you haven't shown me anything except the map and the cell phone. I didn't go to my mom's house. Prove it to me. Just please prove it to me. Let's just, okay, I understand you have evidence. You have the videos, you have the videos. Let's just let the jury decide.
Let's rewind a little here. It all started with a welfare check. Athena had not checked in at the prison for her 7:30 a.m. shift.
For a check on a registered nurse that never showed up for work this morning.
Oh.
So get here. We know she only has one vehicle registered to her from our information. She's not answering the door. We spoke with the neighbor. She said the last time she saw her was 2 days ago, but she did hear her yesterday speaking Hungarian. She is Hungarian, and that's all she knows. She said that she has a regular routine. She locks the gate. She's got a small gate out front. Locks it with a padlock. Has a dog that she leaves out front. The padlock's not there. It's unsecure. There is no dog. She said that her son lives in the area. We tried contacting him. No answer.
Okay.
So
no answer with her phone either?
No.
Any cars?
This is her only registered.
This is hers, yeah?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Athena Valentiny. Partner here saw some red type of substance on the blinds. So I don't know if that'd be enough for you.
You guys are scaring the shit out of me. Well, it's good enough if you guys are going to request to check the welfare.
Yeah.
I don't need a warrant. I'm just going. Okay.
So we're not authorized to make entry because
10-4. They're requesting to check the welfare. Doors unlocked. This one, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys yell in there?
No, we never opened the door. So I don't even know if the deadbolt on that's not the door. So if you hear the red, could be paint, could be whatever.
Do you know if she has any weapons or anything?
No idea.
Officers break into Athena's home, only to find her in a pool of her own blood.
Police department! Athena! No, it doesn't smell good. Athena! Police department! Athena! Police department! Yep. 11:44. I don't know. Code 4, 11:44. Alright, just don't touch anything, but it looks like a lot of pills. Oh, wait, no. There's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Her body was full of slash marks to her throat and upper body.
She's located upstairs. There's a lot of pills around her, but she's doubled over, and I can't tell if it's slice marks, but there's a lot of congealed blood. She's like in a prone position, well, a curled fetal position upstairs.
She was at work yesterday from 06 to 1400.
1400 yesterday afternoon?
Yeah.
Was she supposed to be at work today?
Yeah. That's how we ended up out here.
Okay. What time is she supposed to be at work today?
I got, what was told to me was at 0730 that she was no contact and a no-show.
So sometime between 1400 and 0730 something happened.
It appeared as if Athena had really tried to defend herself, but the attacker was too motivated to take Athena's life. So, was it a crime of passion after all? This neighbor offers the detectives the most crucial piece of evidence in this case: their CCTV and doorbell cameras.
She had passed away, did she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got cameras.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, we'll be contacting you in a little bit. That'd be okay?
A figure strongly resembling Athena's son, as testified by the neighbors. This was around 11 p.m., the night of her murder, walking with Athena's dog. Surprisingly, the dog was walking peacefully, as if the dog knew the killer. Meanwhile, the Grover Beach Police Department posted online about Athena's case, and it quickly gained traction online. Things were looking clear, and the spotlight fell on Levente. An officer had been sent to make the death notification to Levente's home in Bloomington, Indiana. There, he was going to college and living with his girlfriend.
Hi. Hello, are you Lazar? Or Mr. Lazar?
Yeah, Levente Lazar.
Okay, is Miss Valentini your mother?
Yes.
Can I step in and speak to you, please?
My girlfriend lives here, but sure.
Is it, you live here with her, though?
Yeah, she's here and a dog.
Okay, would you mind if I come in?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Come on.
Thank you.
No puppy.
He's up low. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty well. I was contacted this afternoon by the St. Louis Obispo County Sheriff's Department or District Attorney's Office. I don't remember which one.
Okay.
Your mother's passed away. I'm very, very sorry for that, obviously.
What happened?
I don't know. They didn't really give me any details. They just asked that we come and make a notification to you.
Okay.
And then have you get in touch with them.
Do you have a phone number?
I do. I have a phone number for you. I have it written down already. It's Casey Neal. And that's his telephone number.
And you don't have any other details?
No. No, he'll be able to give you any kind of detail or whatever. And that's general practice. They don't really tell us a whole lot, especially when it's out of state. They just ask us to come and make notification.
Okay.
So, I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you so much for the house call, though.
Obviously, that's a very hard thing to have to deal with. So.
Yeah.
When was the last time you spoke with her?
On Monday, and I've been calling her, and it goes straight to voicemail, and then the voicemail says it's full.
Okay.
But she's been having a tough time with her phone. I thought maybe it was a phone issue.
Okay. Sorry to have to bring bad news to you.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you so much, though. I really appreciate it.
Sorry about that.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
And though this officer was not familiar with the case or the first suspect, he too felt that things were off from the start. Levente's reactions hardly felt like the reactions of a son finding out about his dead mother. Everyone has their own ways of grieving, but this was a little too far from that. Soon enough, the detectives had everything they needed. A long trail of evidence left by Levente suddenly made sense. Firstly, the CCTV footage captured by the neighbor's security cameras became the focal point of the investigation. During the death notification, detectives could spot a Jeep Patriot, the very same car that was seen parked close to Athena's driveway on the day of the murder. Even more convincingly, Athena's dog is seen willingly walking away with the killer, a dog that was described as being aggressive with strangers and obedient to a very close few, like family. Secondly, Levente's car was not only seen right in front of Athena's home on the day of the murder, but when tracked to its license plate number, it showed that Levente had traveled the whole day of the murder. He drove from Bloomington to California just for this, making this act potentially a premeditated murder. And finally, Levente's phone, or his burner phone, which detectives found after investigating. Detectives saw many calls made to Athena from an unknown number. These calls happened close to the murder, so naturally it was looked into. This led them to a man called Jacob Keith in Cincinnati, Ohio. Detectives investigated further, found out that it was purchased at a Best Buy in Bloomington, Indiana, just a few minutes from Levente's apartment. When Detective Neal requested the Bloomington police to retrieve the CCTV, they saw a familiar face again. It was Levente. Police looked into all the cell towers that this burner phone came in contact with and found that on October 24th, it came near Athena until 11 o'clock, at the same time as the anonymous suspect was seen in the CCTV. And once the act was committed, the same phone was mirroring the movement of Athena's phone, which was taken after the murder. All this painted a horrible picture of a son who killed his mother. But the question remained, why? Detectives called Levente into the interrogation room, and when he thought he could get away, they showed him the final evidence. Detectives don't immediately tell Levente that he is the prime suspect. They want him to start lying so they can start challenging him with the truth.
So, I wanted to first again extend my condolences.
Thank you.
This is a very difficult thing to deal with, and I just wanted to let you know that we all wanted to extend our condolences and work very hard on this case.
Thank you.
It's very difficult losing a parent. I've lost one as well, and so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I actually lost two parents now because my father passed away from a heart attack. So my biological father.
Right, you said that was before you guys came over.
So I was born in 1992, and my parents married 2 months after I was born, and he passed away in 1995 from a sudden heart attack in the middle of the night.
Oh, wow.
My mom just woke up and passed away. And then in 1997, we immigrated here because the Hungarian laws when it comes to like adoption and stuff, is if father passes away, then the child goes to the father's parents, so my grandparents. And my mom was scared of losing me, so we fled the country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we went to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And then we kind of built a life from there. So.
Okay. Well, I did want to give you more information now about what we found out in California.
Okay.
And I got a copy of your mom's trust stuff, so I hope I can do that today.
Okay.
And you can look through it. First, what I kind of wanted to do, we talked a few times on the phone, and I want to make sure I got a little background on your mom correctly.
Okay. She's from Romania.
Okay.
She was born in a small town called Buza. It's spelled B-U-S-Z-A. Romania.
Is that where you were born to?
No, I was born in Budapest.
And you said you went to Berkeley, Davis, and then...
Yeah, so I went to Berkeley my first 2 years, and then I went to Davis for my last 2 years.
Okay.
So I transferred. And then afterwards, I graduated 2014, and then I moved out here in August of 2015.
Okay. When you came out here, did you come specifically to go to the university?
Exactly. I was admitted here for my master's in history.
Okay. What's your undergrad in?
History and linguistics.
Oh, okay.
And I'm doing different things now.
How much in student debt?
About $250,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if I went through the whole PhD route.
Well, it's got to be probably that for just what you've done already, right?
No, right now I'm only about $15,000 in debt because at the time when I was here at IU, I used to teach at the women's prison up in northern Indiana. In Indiana, they have systems where they allow inmates to get their bachelor's or master's or even high school diploma. And I offered small classes up in northern Indiana. I was able to apply to different grants and scholarships because of my background. So as an immigrant, as a single mom, that sort of thing. So
right. So you got a lot of financial aid.
Right. I kind of take advantage of the system. You know, all of the tools are provided to you, but you kind of have to go out and hunt and search for it.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I've been doing, and it kind of pays off.
It seems cold not to care so much about your dead mother, and rather only talk about how well one manages the fund. But this rookie mistake will cost him a lot as the interrogation progresses. He has given away the key to his motive. Watch as detectives slowly corner him.
I think the case was settled in 2009. There was kind of a stipend laid out for me. So between 2010 and 2013, I would receive about $15,000 a year.
Okay.
So I didn't have to work when I was in college, basically. I was very lucky. Then in 2017, I received $90,000. And I paid off most of my student debt there. I put most of it in my savings, opened up an IRA account, started trading, kind of looking long term. And then I have one final payment of $200,000, not exactly $200,000, it's $200,000 and change, in 2022 when I'm 30. Not when I'm 30, but July 5th, 2022, so after my birthday. I think very much into the future. I have a 3, 5, 7, and 10-year plan. And it's not really something that I execute, like bullet point down, but it's just a general idea. It's like a direction.
So another thing, so you told me you and your mom have identical cars?
Correct.
Okay.
The vehicle's just around here.
Oh, your vehicle?
My vehicle,
okay.
Yes.
So it's a white Jeep Patriot?
Correct. Okay. 2013, I think.
Your mom, though, that initially was your dog, right?
Initially, yes.
Athena?
So, sophomore year of high school, it's 2007, I mentioned that I never had a dog. And all my friends, to my mom, and all my friends had dogs and cats and stuff like that, but we've never had an animal. So I mentioned it, and she went to a pound in Agora Hills, and she just found a little beagle and she brought it home. And then she was my dog until about 2010 when I moved out. Okay. So I never took Athena. She came to Berkeley with me for maybe like a week, but she's never lived with me long term.
Once you went to school?
Yeah, and then my mom took care of her since 2010. For the most part, my mom walked the dog without leash. because she listened.
The dog will listen to her. And you too, I would assume.
Yeah, of course. She kind of listens to people that she
knows.
met, like at least a couple of times.
Okay.
For a premeditated murder, there is a lot that Levente missed out on. Yes, he has made a well-detailed story, but made-up details don't always match the crime.
To give you a little more information, your mom, I believe she was attacked and killed on the 24th of October.
What day is that?
That was Thursday. So let me look at the calendar.
Because I don't know the dates.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Sure. So, yeah, so it was Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay. So you talked to her on Monday, right?
Yes.
And then you went to Indianapolis on Tuesday. It was the 23rd.
Correct.
Okay, so then Wednesday is when I believe she was killed.
Okay, and she texted me.
She texted you on Thursday, on the 25th.
Yes.
At 9 p.m. Okay. And then you've been in Bloomington since then?
Yeah, or just like a nearby area. So one Monday, the day I spoke to her, I've been in like 100-mile range.
Of your house?
Yeah, of Bloomington.
Okay. Okay, well that's kind of what I need a little bit of help with, is because, and you've had your phone with you that whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. I was able to get records for all of your recent people that have called your mom.
Okay.
And so your number was one of them on the 22nd.
Yeah.
So they came back with those records when I asked from AT&T.
Okay.
And so they showed your phone going to Springfield, Missouri on the 23rd, I believe. 22nd, 23rd. Can you help me explain that?
Not Missouri. I went to Mount Vernon in Missouri. But that was, I'm sorry, in Illinois.
I thought that was Illinois.
Yeah, but that's as far as I went. I didn't go to Missouri that day.
Oh.
Or that week.
Really?
Missouri was the earliest time I was in Missouri was in June.
Okay.
Of this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the only phone you have?
That's the only phone I had. I had this in January of last year.
Huh.
No,
it's just strange. I mean, so basically when our phones travel, they talk to cell phone towers.
Correct.
Right. So you're a smart guy. You probably know better than me. Every time they connect to a tower, it shows the tower's location.
Yeah.
Your phone has to be within close proximity of those towers.
Right.
So the fact that your phone shows going, from your house basically to the Springfield, Missouri.
I understand.
On the 22nd, 23rd.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was not in Missouri this month. Last month. June was the last month I was in Missouri.
Huh.
Late June.
And the other curious thing is, so on the 25th, your phone is showing up in Texas. And it tracks all the way back to your house from Texas.
I was not in Texas. Last time I was in Texas was when I moved out here.
Oh.
It was 2015 because I drove here.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I looked at your phone records, what I did was I looked at the other callers that called your mom, okay? And I found another Cincinnati, Ohio number that looks like it was traveling with your phone to your mom's house. And
I don't have another phone either.
Yeah, well, so when I looked at that and I put the two records together,
I understand.
I have a map from your house to your mom's house.
Oh, to my mom's house?
Correct.
Okay.
With those two phones, it maps directly from your house on the 22nd to your mom's house on the 24th.
I can promise you, I was not.
Okay.
I was not in California.
Okay, listen to me for a sec here. So when I looked at that, I checked. There's other systems that we can check that they have what's called a license plate reader. Okay. And when a license plate gets scanned on that as you're driving down the road, it takes a picture of your car. Okay. And the picture it took in Texas and in Arizona and California is a picture of your car.
I was not in California this year. All right, except in January.
Okay, listen to me, Levente.
I'm listening.
Okay. All those records clearly show it was your Jeep. Okay. There's video surveillance cameras on your mom's apartment. Did you know that?
I did not.
Video surveillance cameras show you going into your mom's apartment when she was murdered. Okay, so what I'm here to do today to talk to you is about, I already know that you're the one that went there. Okay, I need you to help me understand why you did this to your mom.
I didn't do anything to my mom.
Levente, it's clear to me. There's clear as day, unfortunately. We went and bought that phone at Best Buy. You're on video there, buying that phone, the Cricket wireless phone that you used during this trip. I have you on video there. I have your video on your mom's house. I had a video afterwards with Athena leaving. Okay?
Casey,
you have to accept that. We're past that part, okay? I know it's tough. This is something that's me hard to talk about, but...
No, there's nothing hard to talk about. It's the fact that I didn't...
Explain to me why you killed your mom.
I didn't...
Did something happen there?
Detectives have finally started confronting him with facts and evidence. Firstly, the doorbell, which Levente probably did not expect to be there. And while detectives try to get a confession, Levente's home is being searched, adding to the pile of evidence against him. Detectives will not accept a made-up story in place of the truth. They have too much evidence against Levente to give in or give more options to Levente.
Let me show you a couple things here. Okay, just so you know. Okay, here's your trust, right?
Okay.
And this goes in to explain that you are her sole heir, so you do get all her property.
But I didn't even know about this. I mean, I knew she wrote one up, or she talked to attorneys, sure. But I didn't know about this.
Okay. Let me show you a few things here. Okay. So we can get past that part, because it's more about why, okay?
It's not about why.
Okay. Okay.
I don't understand what you're saying.
This is your house right here, but this is your mom's house.
Yes.
Okay. You understand that pictures caught you along the route. That's your Jeep, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what you're telling me about being in Indiana and never leaving and not seeing your mom in January of this year.
No, I saw her in
is
January.
Clearly, well, you were at her house on the 24th of October.
I was not in her house. Of October of this year, I was not.
Levente, do you see what I'm showing you? You want to see more? Your pictures of your Jeep was taken all along your route with you in it. Okay? The video at your mom's house showed you driving by at 3:30 that afternoon, okay, in your Jeep. Okay? Understand what all this says is that you were. So for you to sit here and tell me that makes zero sense, and it doesn't look, good for you. Okay? What I'm trying to understand is, did something happen when you were there that caused a struggle with your mom?
No.
Were you just mad at her? Do you need money?
No. I don't need money.
So what happened? Tell me what happened. That's the only way we're going to understand this a little bit better. Because you seem like a very intelligent, smart, and a nice person. And something had to have happened that day.
Nothing.
We all make mistakes.
No! I mean, I understand everybody makes mistakes, but no, First of all, as you pointed out, I had a rough childhood. Yeah. But you know what? I've always had my mom. She was the number one person, with the exception of the dog, that I could go to.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for me to hurt her. I never hurt her. I never did. If anything, I went out of my way to help her all the time. There's no...
Can you explain this?
I cannot. I absolutely cannot. But I did not do anything to her. I really did.
Your mom, you called her that day several times, and she actually told her friends about it and left voicemails about talking to you.
Yeah.
On the 24th.
Yeah, I spoke to her.
You told me earlier that you didn't. You said on the 22nd. But you called her from the phone that you bought at Best Buy.
I didn't. I only have one phone. I only have one phone, Casey.
Did you not buy a phone at Best Buy?
No. I did not.
Do you want me to show you the video of it?
I didn't.
Do you want me to show you the video of it?
Sure.
Okay. Do you not believe I have this?
Casey, look, I understand you're looking for motive, but there is absolutely no reason for me to hurt my mom. Okay.
Do you realize that these text messages you show me from your mom were after she was dead? They were sent after she was dead. You sent those texts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From my phone.
Right. You sent those texts from your mom's phone to you because she was already dead. She couldn't.
What? No. Look. Hold on. I'm sorry. No. I didn't send those text messages.
Okay.
I don't know. Look, I finished the test. First of all, why don't you... Is there a way to see... You're accusing me of hurting my own mom.
Well, do you understand why?
Because of a map, of a phone and another phone traveling...
Videos of you at her house. One video at her house. Levente, do you understand that? Do you understand that? What you're saying flies in the face of reason.
No, I understand what you're saying. What I don't understand is reason.
Okay.
Proof, I guess.
Okay. Is that not your Jeep driving in front of your mom's house? That's on the 24th of October.
I can't. I mean, I saw the Jeep.
Okay, that's your Jeep, correct?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. I just saw a
let's watch it
white...
again. Here you go. Okay. What's that in that corner?
A sticker.
Right? Okay. That's your sticker, the exact place you have it on your Jeep, correct?
Okay.
What's that sticker? Exact sticker you have on your Jeep, is that correct?
I didn't see the second sticker, but okay.
So this is in front of your mom's house.
Okay.
On 1024, look. 1527, which means 327.
I didn't see my mom. The next day, I didn't see
Explain that to me.
I don't know.
That's your Jeep.
How do you know that's my Jeep, though? Can you show me proof of me?
Yeah. Is that what you need in order to tell me what happened?
Sure, but I didn't do anything.
Did you buy the phone at Best Buy?
The Cricket?
Yeah.
Is it?
Okay, why did you buy that phone?
Personal reasons.
Like what?
Personal reasons.
Can you explain that to me?
No, because it has nothing to do with this. It has nothing to do with my mom or...
Well, you called your mom from it.
I did.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I spoke to her for like an hour.
Yeah. What did you guys talk about?
Many different things. The promised ring, my mom's job, the doctor's visit, talked about Joseph. That was it.
Why did you have to buy that phone for those conversations?
Personal reasons. I also made other calls.
Okay, to who on that phone?
To other people that are not at all related to this.
All the evidence collected so far is enough for a conviction. But a confession would seal the deal to put this monster behind bars forever. But he will give it a final shot to get away and come up with the most stupid story in the coming seconds.
What's Hannah going to tell me when I talk to her about where you were?
And I was not there.
What's she going to say? What'd you tell Hannah?
I was in California. But I didn't go see my mom. I didn't see her. I drove by her place.
What'd you?
I went to Los Angeles. I went to Los Angeles too, and I could prove it to you. I could show it to you.
Okay.
To buy marijuana. Right?
Okay.
And I bought medicinal marijuana. I went to it's on Venice Street in Los Angeles. That's what I went to.
Okay.
And
how do you show that to me?
How?
Yeah.
I have weed in my house.
Okay. And how much weed did you buy?
About $120 worth.
$120 worth of weed?
Yeah. It's 15 grams.
Okay.
That's it.
So that's why you came to California?
I know it sounds ridiculous, but I don't know anyone here except Hannah. Hannah is not going to go ask people. I'm not going to go ask other people either. She's in medical school.
Okay. What did you tell Hannah?
That I was going to Chicago.
And why did you tell her that?
Because she doesn't like it. She doesn't like, because she's in medical school, she's worried about, like, first of all, this is Indiana. They don't have any... if I got caught smoking weed, here, she would get in trouble. Because of that, I kind of kept it a secret from her.
Okay. So what day did you leave to go to California?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, which was what? What's the date on Tuesday?
23rd.
Okay. And about what time did you leave?
8 a.m.
8 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you get
Or, no, I'm sorry, 6 a.m. 6 a.m.
6 a.m.?
And I drove.
You drove?
Yes.
In what?
My car.
Your Jeep?
Yes.
Okay, the same one I have the pictures of?
Yes.
Okay. How long did it take you, number one, to get to California?
Thursday, I think, was when I got there. Thursday, because I went to LA and that's when I bought marijuana.
How many hours driving is that?
30, 40?
30 or 40 hours?
I really don't know.
Did you stop and stay in a hotel anywhere?
No, I just drove all the way through.
You just drove all the way through?
Yes.
And you got to California on Thursday?
Thursday.
About what time?
Afternoon. It was about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock when I went to Los Angeles.
Okay. So did you stay anywhere?
No, I drove the entire time.
You just drove straight from your house to LA to your mom's house.
I stopped and
then straight back to Indiana.
I stopped and slept.
Where did you stop and sleep?
In the driver's seat of the car.
Okay. Well, where did you actually stop?
Going to California, first place I stopped was Albuquerque.
Albuquerque, New Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay. And you remember where you stopped?
No, it was like a rest stop. So it was not in Albuquerque, it was nearby, off the highway, rest stop.
Okay.
How long? 3 hours, 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that the only time you stopped?
For that trip.
For that entire trip?
Went to California, and then I went to an In-N-Out, and then I slept in the car there after eating, and then I went up to my mom's. I was going to surprise her. She wasn't there, and then I drove back.
Okay. When you say she wasn't there?
She wasn't there. I called her on my Cricket phone. I drove by. Her car wasn't there. I called her on my phone, the other phone. She didn't pick up. I guess she was at work. I had to get back.
When you got back from this trip to your mom's?
Okay. Yes.
What date and time did you get back to Bloomington?
Friday.
Friday?
Friday.
Which was the 26th?
I think so.
Okay. About what time?
Evening.
Evening?
Yeah. About 4 p.m.
What did you tell Hannah when you got back?
Nothing. I just told her that Chicago was fine. It's windy. It was cold. It was fun. That was it.
As far as she's going to tell me that's what happened?
Yeah.
Okay. And what else did you take with you in the Jeep up to California?
Clothes.
Clothes? What kind of clothes?
T-shirt, jeans, shorts. That's it.
Okay. Did you bring a computer with you?
No.
No?
I have a tablet, but it's very old, so I don't use it. I just have it.
Okay. That's a long trip.
I know.
So you're telling me that...
I know what it sounds like.
You're telling me that you drove
for
64 hours.
For 15 grams of weed.
For $100 worth of weed.
I know what it sounds like. I know it does.
I think we need to talk about what happened in Robert.
I understand you gave me my rights when I first came here.
Yeah.
I understand. I think you can understand why I was hesitant, why I didn't say I was in California, because I'm crossing state lines with weed.
Is that really the thing that you think I'm here for?
No. You're not here for the weed. I understand that.
You understand that I talked to you about your mom being killed and asked you for your help to explain to me when the last time you saw your mom was. But I didn't see my mom. If this story you just told me is true,
yeah,
you would have told me that.
No, because
correct?
No.
Why?
Because I am crossing state lines. First of all, it makes me a suspect that I was in California and I drove 60 hours for 15 grams of weed.
Okay.
More than that. A little bit more.
Okay. So when I go to that dispensary, or I check any dispensaries in LA, I'm going to find that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I could. If we go to my house, I could show you the canisters. It has the.
I don't care about the canisters.
Okay.
There's going to be video of you
Sure, yeah. The reason I can't say this is because I am crossing state lines, multiple state lines. That's a federal offense. But let's just, okay, I understand you have evidence. If you have the videos, you have the videos. Let's just let the jury decide. Okay, let's just do that.
Let me tell you
because here's the thing, Casey. Here's the thing. Let me tell you what's going to happen here, because I already know what it will. You're asking me questions about my PC, about my shoes.
Stop.
May I just 1 minute? Okay. You're asking questions about my PC, about my phone, about my shoes. You're gonna go to my house. That's fine. Whatever.
Right.
I told you where the marijuana is. You're gonna talk to Hannah, that sort of thing. And you know what? She's in med school. She doesn't have to deal with this shit. So even if you, at the very end you find out that I did not do this, right? The whole, like, my relationship is done with her. It's already been established at this point because you have to do your job, and I'm not blaming you. Okay, here's the code. Give me a pair of pants. I'll give you these, and then whatever happens, happens. Okay. But in the end, I already know that I didn't do anything to my mom. And that'll be established eventually. If it's not, I don't know what to say. But I didn't do anything, okay? And I don't want to waste my time and your time here. Let's just do this, because you know what?
Well, I mean, to me, what matters is...
I know what matters. You're trying to get to a motive, but there is no motive here.
Okay, listen to me for a minute.
This whole thing, it's not only just that my mom died, but now my whole life is gonna be just fucking, just by the news, by you guys saying that didn't leak that story. Give me a break. Okay, and now you're gonna go through my stuff and my girlfriend's belongings and stuff? Jesus Christ, it's gonna ruin her. Okay? All because, and you're gonna find out, you're gonna find out, okay? But in the end, it doesn't affect you. I can move on. It's not a big deal. There's a million fish out there, but damn, man.
Well, listen, Levente.
Sure.
Here's the deal: is I don't want your girlfriend to think this, because there's only two things you said when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Okay. We have all this evidence showing.
Hey, what else do you want from me?
Listen. What I want is you to listen for a second.
Listen.
Okay. There's two things, Levente, that I know. Okay.
Yeah.
One. It's not about who did it. Okay, I know you did it. But here's what like the jury's gonna see, or Hannah's gonna see, more importantly, is you either, one, you're a cold-blooded killer who has no remorse and killed your mom, planned it, did it. Or two, something would happen there when you went to see your mom that I don't know about, that you cannot fill in. And that's the only thing that the jury or Hannah needs to know about you.
No.
You understand that?
I do.
So, are you a cold-blooded killer? Or did something else happen in the house?
I never.
What else happened in the house then?
I never saw.
No, we're past that, Levente.
Are
All
we?
right, we are.
How are we past that?
We're way past that.
Prove it.
I'm telling you, I've already proved it, okay, that you did this. Okay?
No, you haven't.
Okay. To me, Levente, you need to be able to explain this. Because no one else is going to understand. You're the only one who can give us that part.
Okay, so I told you, there's no reason for me to hurt my mom. Okay? You want to brand me as a cold-blooded killer?
I don't want to brand you as
or the jury? Fine, but we'll see. But you don't have the evidence.
Did something else happen then?
No, because I didn't see my mom. I did not see her, like, face to face, like, interact with her. I did not see her that week. I wanted to surprise her. I wanted to tell her in person that she is going to have a daughter-in-law.
And did you tell her that?
No, because I didn't see her. I was going to tell her in person. She's been having a tough time with her neighbors. So I wanted to give her some happiness for once. And I wanted to tell her. Not over the phone, face to face. And then tell her, look, why don't you take a week off or something like that in December so you could come to Florida and meet her parents?
I've watched the videos with my own eyes. I've looked at all the cell phone tower data. I've looked at all the license plate reader. I've watched her apartment complex. There's video all around it.
I'm not denying.
Okay, and you go in that house. You go in that house on video.
I don't.
You do.
I do not.
The fact that we know all these things. How do you think I knew about you leaving with the dog? How do you think I knew about
Because you showed me a video of some guy leaving with a dog.
No, I saw another video of you going in. Okay? That there's no doubt in my mind you were in that house. Tell me what happened in the house that night. Maybe it's something different than what I think.
Nothing happened.
What happened in the house?
Nothing happened because I didn't go in the house. I didn't see my mom.
You parked up the street, okay, and you walked down to the house. And then afterwards, you walked back up to your Jeep, and you get in your Jeep and you drive, and you leave the area at about 11 p.m., okay? You get rid of her or turn her mom's phone off right after that, okay? So her phone goes with you, with your Cricket phone and your other phone. We're communicating with towers right from her house, okay? You took her phone with you.
I did. Because I didn't see my mom. I didn't go in the house that day. Look, I'm not in denial.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not like I don't have dual personalities or anything like that. I'm telling you.
You understand that the story you gave me about driving 64 hours across country
I know what's
to buy marijuana, $100 worth.
I know.
Do you understand how ridiculous that sounds?
I do know.
So then you should understand. You're a smart guy.
I do know. No, I understand it completely. And the thing is, like, I can't say anything otherwise.
No, listen to the rest of it. Okay. You bought a prepaid burner phone from Best Buy so you can make this trip to contact your mom. I want you to tell me what each thing means.
Okay. Burner phone, traveling across California, lying about the trip to a detective, not telling anybody about it, including girlfriend, $100 weed, and then visiting mom's house. I know what it looks like. A phone, that's weird. Like, why isn't he just calling from his phone? Oh, probably he knows that. Cell towers. And I think I already mentioned how I know the cell towers work. So that's established. Traveling across the country and not telling anyone. That's weird. Why doesn't he tell anybody? Okay, he has a mission or a plan. Visiting mom's house without telling her or telling anybody. That's also weird. I know what it looks like, Casey.
Okay.
But the thing is,
all that by itself would be weird, except for the time that you went there.
I know.
We find your mom in there. Okay? There's some other reason that I don't know about other than you're just being a cold-blooded killer. You know, you can tell me that.
From 0 to 100?
Yeah. It happens. I've been doing this job a long time. It happens to everyone. People make mistakes. People get frustrated. People get angry. People need things in their lives that they don't have. So there's a lot of reasons people go from 0 to 100.
You've been to my mom's house. There's nothing I need in there. Even the promise ring. Like, I don't care about that. I did not go in the house. I didn't.
How can you say that? How can you sit here and tell me that when I know different? How can you sit here and tell me that?
Because...
Do you know how ridiculous that sounds?
Because
That's ridiculous. That won't make sense to anybody else either. Do you understand that? The only thing that's going to make sense is if you can help explain what happened in there.
I can't because I didn't go in. I can't tell you what happened if it didn't happen, correct? I can't.
You're choosing not to because it did happen.
No, it didn't.
This was the easiest case that fell into the laps of the detectives because of how easy the suspect made it to get caught. Even after so much bulletproof evidence, yet another thing was found. Before the detectives made a welfare check on the morning of the murder, Levente's iPad had been connected to the Wi-Fi of a very close-by location of McDonald's. And there, he made searches like Levente Lazar, murder Grover Beach, Levente Lazar, suspect Grover Beach, and murder Grover Beach on 9th Street. This came at a time when even the detectives involved did not know about Athena's death. History showed that he was searching for these exactly at 11 a.m., but Athena's body was not found until 11:49 a.m. This rookie mistake cost Levente heavily, and detectives finally had a chance to deliver justice. This case goes to show that sometimes the killer is way too close and someone we will never see coming. Levente spoke a lot about his financial stability, but in the end, it was all to hide his debts and the true motive. Turns out, he had been in losses for about $49,000 in the stock market. He also owed $70,000 in student loans and $12,000 to the IRS. In all this, money became the motive. And for an insurance claim, he did the unthinkable to his mother. After the detectives managed to make a bulletproof case against the accused Levente Lazar, he was tested and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.